now, but I haven't had but I wanted to so I'm going to be doing some more laptop so I'm looking at all day though. I'm like a trick I don't think it's Okay, she's on her way. Okay. Stop.
Working our way down, so we can skip the rest of it, just wrapping something up. Tom finger ready for something on the season.
Oh my God, she's beautiful. She is.
Sorry, everybody.
Oh, I need a man. Sorry, I'm not spreading COVID.
We're not all watching Joon right now. All right. I am Jessica Johnson. This is Joon Haworth-Kaufka and Armin Tolentino. to the 31st Constellation reading series. For whom is this the first Constellation? Who's new here?
Whoa.
Okay, a number of you. That's amazing. And welcome. Tonight, and this is not usual, we are your readers. And it is extra special for us to be here with you in the room and with the folks who are joining us on the live stream.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, Eric. We miss you. It is not easy to adequately gesture at the developments in the world right now, let alone even just today. The empire is empiring hard and blatantly in ways that have the potential to affect all people, I think. We continue to acknowledge that we're gathering during a time of struggle and violence against many peoples. The Palestinian people continue to be brutalized by the decades-long American-funded genocide and colonial violence of Israeli apartheid. I keep saying this, and I know that you all know it, but I also know some of you are new here, and we feel like it's important to keep saying it.
Thank you. Thank you.
We also stand in solidarity with victims of genocide in Sudan and Congo, and with the indigenous peoples of this place, the Multnomah, Kathlamet, Clackamas, Tumwater, and Watlala Cascade bands of the Chinook, as well as the Tualatin and Kalapuya, and many other recognized and unrecognized indigenous nations of the Columbia River. We invite you to join us in contributing in material ways toward the return of land and the thriving of indigenous peoples. We stand against anti-Blackness and recognize that police violence and all white supremacist violence must be named and opposed. Fuck ICE, fuck the police.
Fuck.
We stand with immigrants, against whom the current federal administration is carrying out acts of violence, imprisonment, and erasure. These forms of violence, along with transphobic violence being legislated across the United States, endanger the lives of trans, queer, gender nonconforming, and non-binary people. And therefore, as we begin our event, we once again wish to underscore that none of us are free until all of us are free, and that all anti-racist, liberationist, and anti-colonial struggles are intertwined.
That's right.
And today, we particularly remember Renee Nicole Good. And all the many victims of state violence. And we acknowledge the abundant courage and creativity of the interconnected communities and individuals in resistance.
That's right. That's right.
So we named all of these things at this time in order to reach out to each other and make good use of our time here together. Before we begin, we have some special announcements. This is an interesting day. We had different plans for this day, I think, but it turns out to be a really heavy day.
Can we make sure? Can you guys hear?
Yes.
Good. Okay. I'm gonna keep talking loud.
Mic down towards your mouth a little bit.
Mic down towards my mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Now I don't have. Yeah. Okay. That's a little weird on my end. So Tin House, an entity which had been a book publisher and workshops, residencies, and associated other activities, has split in two. The publishing part was acquired by Zando, and the workshops, residencies, and associated other activities has become the McCormick Writing Center. And we are so proud to be the official reading series of the McCormick Writing Center. And what this means is that you will be hearing probably more from McCormick Writing Center residents over the coming months. details are still hazy, but we are stoked to be working with these folks as we have been. And we have some gifts for Lance, who is not here, but also we want to acknowledge Melissa Amstutz and Bishop and Wild. We could not do this without Melissa. Not just a bookstore, but a place where we find each other. A community space. Our love, Melissa. So we thank all of you for being here tonight and honoring our COVID policy, which we have to keep each other safe. Masks down here, and if you're able to join us in the mask optional area upstairs, we can hang out there later after the reading. So our first reader tonight is Joon Haworth-Kaufka. Community members would be introducing the readers, and Christopher Diaz is going to introduce Joon.
Surprise, surprise. Well, happy third birthday to Constellation. Yes. And thank you, Jessica and Armin, for this wild honor and opportunity to introduce Joon. I'm going to read their bio here in a second. But I have to share with y'all, in preparing for this, my Google Doc is titled Joon's Impossible Intro. Because as impressive as their bio is, right, there are no words that could ever describe the magnitude of the impact you have had and continue to have on not only communities here in Portland, but to people far beyond, right? Yeah. It takes 2 seconds of looking at Joon's website or scrolling through their social media to see that they truly live a life that is dedicated to the service of others. Whether it is co-founding and organizing for BIPOC adoptees, which is the only nonprofit of its kind in the country, or being a board member on the Income Movement, which is an economic justice organization advocating for basic income, or organizing for mutual aid, or raising tens of thousands of dollars for the Abu Dhair family in Palestine and families everywhere else in Palestine, to organizing this reading with Armin and Jessica, to being a mother and a partner at home, taking care of her own family. I don't know how you do it. But even if you didn't know any of everything that I just rattled off, you get this deep, profound, almost ancestral sense of selfless service when you meet Joon, and she looks you in your eyes and she asks you how you're holding up. And then she is remarkably present to listen because she cares. She is like the coolest aunt, youngest, coolest aunt. It's like almost like, cousin, you come in and Joon asks, oh, have you eaten? And even when you assure them, like, I literally just ate, like at a buffet, they still convince you to grab a Ziploc bag and a paper plate on the way out, right? I've never told you this, Joon, but when the world gets particularly dark, as it is now, and I feel extra heavy, I'll go to Joon's Instagram stories and remind myself of the work that we have to do, the nuances of that work, and the hope we have to do that work. She is somehow simultaneously this fierce, ferocious, tenacious balance of strength with this tender, gentle, kind, loving light. You contain so many multitudes, and this is why this is like the impossible intro, right? So I think I speak for all of us when I say we love you, and we are so, so grateful to exist in the same time and space as you. Thank you for everything you do for us. You're going to find out why I had to say all that, because this is the official bio. It doesn't contain a fraction of that. Joon Haworth-Kaufka, she, they, is a Korean adoptee writer, educator, and community organizer. She loves simple things, a good vacuum, cozy spaces, karaoke and dance parties, mutual aid, laughing until it hurts, every dog, period, helping the helpers, 90s hip-hop and R&B, amen, tea lattes, self-help audiobooks, good haircuts, and floral moo-moos. She will never say no to Thai noodles. She is a lucky recipient of numerous honors, including a recent Oregon Humanities Storytelling Fellowship and an Asian American Journalists Association Award. Her work has been published here and there over the years, and she's incredibly thankful people have cared about the things she writes about: intersectional justice, how fucked up adoption is, grief and healing, and a free Palestine. Friends, please make the most noise your body can possibly make for the inimitable Joon Haworth.
Well, for our third birthday, I'm gonna throw up in front of all of you. Happy birthday to us! I don't understand what's happening right now. Thank you, Christopher. Can that just be my reading? I chose a long piece tonight, which I actually feel really self-conscious about. But it's the piece I want to read to you, so I did it. But before I read this long piece, I'm gonna take even more of your time. And I just want to say thank you so much. I look around this room and I see so many people that I love, and it makes me want to throw up. How am I gonna read this 18-minute piece? So I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you. Constellation has meant so much to me. I'm generally the kind of person, and so that this has endured for 3 years is really, really special to me. I think about this as probably more of a community than it is a writing series, and I know it's both, but I know that when I show up, I get to see people that I love, and I get to meet people that I learned to love over time, and I know many of you get to meet each other, and you build friendships and relationships of love. And that is such a bright spot in all of these dark times. During our first year of existence is October of 2023, when the current version of the genocide against Palestinians happened. And so this has carried me through so much of that. I also want to extend special gratitude to Melissa and Lance with McCormick Writing Center. For hosting us in this space and just trusting us. We could do whatever we want. They don't care. They just trust us. And it's been such a gift. This would not exist without you. And this is insanely beautiful person. It's crazy. And I want to thank Jessica and Armin. Organizing this is so easy. It's so easy. We're so on the same page. Our values are aligned. It's like, it's work, but it's like delightful, and there's so much ease. It doesn't feel like a burden, and it's fun, and we've just gotten closer and closer over time. So, okay, so I keep talking. And I want to thank Eli too. He always says he's our roadie. He doesn't take up a lot of space, as he should as a right man. But he just does all the things. He just carries in the chairs and the boxes, and he's just so happy to help and be here. And I can just be like, Eli, can you do that? He just does it. He just goes and gets ice. He goes and gets me a bottle of Pepto-Bismol from the market across the street because prophylactically I was like, I could throw up or I could have diarrhea. And it shows up.
Eli!
So now this is like a half an hour. Thank you for your patience and your love. So I'm going to read this. I've never read this out loud. This piece is from my novel in progress, which is written primarily in third person past tense, which is like Regina did this, Regina did that. But the chapter I'm going to read is from I have these weird kind of interstitial chapters here and there that are second person point of view, present tense. So it's like you are doing this, like it's happening at the moment. This chapter is set in 1988. And these interstitial chapters function as backstory. Content warning, adoption, which is always triggering for many of us, Christian fundamentalism, homophobia, slurs, abortion, and eating disorders. This is called An Infinite Hunger. Okay, I'm gonna breathe for a second. Thank you for somebody breathing with me. It's the Tuesday night meeting of your mom's Catholic charismatic prayer group. Your mom hands you the keys to the front office of the church so you can retrieve the milk crate of supplies from the closet. You have been given the privilege of setting up and breaking down the snack table. No other kid gets to be in the church office by themselves, not even your brother Mitch, who is in 6th grade, 2 years older than you, and gets to do almost anything he wants. Because you're a girl adopted from Korea, you are used to people saying you're special, but it's a feeling you rarely experience. You get the honor of wandering the halls of the administrative wing at night, but you're also frightened by the darkness. You hurry from light switch to light switch, illuminating the way as if you're playing the hot lava game and hopping from sofa to chair without touching the floor. An enormous painting of a crucified Jesus hangs by the office door. You avert your eyes and hurry past it, but it doesn't matter. You know it by heart. The way the light shines down from heaven, highlighting thick blood clumping in Jesus' hair, glistening with sweat and the raw inside of his skin where it curls open, the tension in his muscles, straining against the weight of his body held to the cross by metal spikes. Your mom wants you to be a nurse, even though you hate the sight of blood. Neither of you know that one day you'll escape to art school across the country. Years later, you will learn this technique is called chiaroscuro, and you will think of this painting. You feel lucky your mom loves you. She tells you she loved you before she even met you, even when you were still in Korea. She says you were chosen, which makes it sound like she loves you more than your brothers, even though they are her biological children. But you know you weren't chosen. You were just next in line. You carry the crate to the large meeting room. It contains a coffee maker and filters, a canister of non-dairy creamer, napkins, styrofoam cups, paper towels, and a bottle of Windex, all of which are organized now that you've taken over the setup duties. Tonight, Mrs. Martin hands you a heavy box of donuts. You take it to the back, peek inside, and notice a single pinwheel of happiness that is a French cruller. Your heart sings. You can already feel the airy, chewy, melt-in-your-mouth texture of the sweet, eggy dough. That the inside of a donut can be both crunchy and wet with glaze is your version of a miracle. You wonder if it's disrespectful, a sin even, to think a donut is a miracle, because miracles are for cancer or arthritis, epilepsy, or migraines. You know this because these are the things they pray for. You plan to be the first of the French cruller before your brother. Your mom is concerned by how much you love food. You eat like a fat person. You're going to get fat. Do you want to be fat? Your mom is very, very thin, though you know she hides junk food in the house and eats it at night after you go to bed. Sometimes you find it and sneak little bits, skimming off the top of the ice cream hidden in the back of the fridge, taking a single cookie or pressing your thumb into the crumbs at the bottom of the package to get the specks of sweet, crunchy sweetness, hoping she won't discover what you've done. You know you're stealing, and you know Jesus is watching, but you do it anyway. Some nights, she feeds you cans of Slim Fast meal replacement shakes for dinner. You can choose strawberry, vanilla, or chocolate, and you always choose chocolate, to which your mom says, "Of course you do," and shakes her head. Your dad and brothers get real dinner because they protest. You hate Slim Fast dinners, but you never protest. On Slim Fast nights, you go to bed with a hollow ache in your gut that keeps you awake well past your bedtime, but it's okay. You know you could have starved on the streets of Korea. They tell you this all the time, so you try to be grateful that at least you've had something. Except for the 3 people playing music, everyone sits on the folding chairs your mom has set up in neat rows. You always wonder why they need a speaker in such a small room with so few people. There are only a dozen people here, and you think, just like the donuts, you want to be the French cruller, which kind of makes sense since you stand out from everyone else. Mr. Steve, the prayer group leader, opens with a prayer. Mr. Steve has more hair on his face than on his head. His beard is thick and wiry, and he wears the long gray hairs above his ears slicked over his scalp. You like the way he smells, clean like laundry detergent and Old Spice. Mr. Steve was in the Army during the Korean War. He likes to talk to you about Korea, and you listen patiently because he's nice, you're expected to, and you feel sorry for him. Sometimes your parents let you watch MASH, so you know it must have been hard for him there. Your mom says he's very holy because he has suffered. Each moment that passes is a moment closer to the donuts. You watch the clock from the back row where you sit by yourself with a bag of toys you brought from home. You can do what you want as long as you're quiet, but you are supposed to listen. Mitch sits on the floor with his Rubik's Cube, listening to his Walkman on his headphones in the back of the room. Mr. Steve says, Satan comes at us from the outside and the inside, and we have to accept the Holy Spirit into our bodies like currents of electricity, charging us up with the love of God so we are ready to battle. They talk a lot about being under spiritual attack. The people in the chair say, "Amen," and "Praise God," and "Thank you, Jesus." Toward the end of the meeting, Father Mark walks in. Mr. Steve stops his lecture mid-sentence as if the Pope himself has just entered the room. You worry it's a sin. You don't find him all that special. Your mom says priests are closer to God than regular people, which feels like the opposite of when they say God loves everyone, no matter what they are or what they do. They say a lot of things that seem the opposite, like how we should love and not judge, even though they are very angry about sinners like Mr. Steve's homosexual son who moved to California and won't talk to them. They don't like when you ask questions unless you agree with them. When you are confused, they tell you, "You'll understand when you grow up." No one knows that when you grow up, you too will move very far away from all of this, and you won't talk to your parents either. "Everyone, Father Mark is here with us tonight," Mr. Steve announces, as if people couldn't see for themselves. We are so blessed. Father Mark takes a seat in the back row with you. You refuse to make eye contact, but you know he is looking at you, smiling. Whenever Father Mark joins the Tuesday night prayer group, which is not often, it is a special occasion. Your mom jokes that Father Mark is handsome. With his short beard, thick sandy brown hair, and blue eyes, he looks just like Jesus, she says. You overheard one black girl on school bus say Jesus was more black than white. He had woolly hair and dark skin, she said. You think Jesus was from Europe? She is a 6th grader, like your brother. You asked your mom later, and she laughed. Don't listen to that Toliqua. Her family is racist. They hate us whites. Lots of blacks do. The girl's name is Tanisha, and you felt sorry that she had to live in a racist family, but you wondered, what did her family think of Orientals like you? During the closing song, Father Mark heads to the back of the room and looms over the snack table. You hope he notices how the bigger items are behind the smaller items and how everything is spaced neatly. You have set up 2 even stacks of styrofoam cups, just enough so everyone has one, plus some extras just in case. At the end of the night when you're cleaning up, if there are only a couple cups left, you'll know you've estimated well. When Father Mark opens the lid to the box of donuts, you panic. You turn in your seat and watch him poking the donuts with his fingers. He doesn't need to touch them to see them. He licks his stinky fingers and you are shocked. Your mom would spank you if she caught you licking your fingers and touching everyone's food. Father Mark waves at you and you realize you've turned all the way around in your seat. And you spin back to the front and sit very still. If you don't move, maybe he'll forget you were watching. But he could be touching your food right now. You feel very protected even though it's not your food per se, but it's your responsibility. You don't want anyone to mess it up, even a priest. He can wait like everyone else, and he better not eat your French cruller. Then you feel ashamed for judging such a holy man. Maybe your mom is right about you. Mr. Steve ends the meeting with a closing prayer, and it's officially snack time. And usually you're poised to be the first one to the food, but tonight Father Mark comes over and sits next to you. What's your name? He asks. Though you like seeing him in regular clothes instead of his Sunday robes, he still makes you uncomfortable. You scan the room for your mom, but she's engaged in a conversation. You don't answer and you're afraid of being rude. I hear you're Korean, he says. You nod, though you want to correct him. No, I'm American. Because that's true. If you were a citizen of Korea, then you would be a Korean. But you're a citizen of the United States, so you're American. But you know American means white to him. I understand you're a very good little girl. You nod again. I also hear you love the Lord very much. Again, you nod. This reminds you of things Santa Claus says at the mall before asking what you want for Christmas. Mitch told you last year mall Santa wasn't real, but you had a feeling. You don't tell your mom you know he's not real. And you worry that Father Mark is a priest and he might know you're unsure if you love the Lord and maybe think he's not real. Maybe priests can tell. You're not sure how you can love someone you've never met. Before you arrived to your family, the adoption agency sent a single picture of you to them, a blurry black and white photo of a chubby Korean baby staring directly into the camera with intense narrow eyes and a wisp of black hair rising like smoke above your otherwise bald head. The photo is 1 inch by 1 inch, too small to fill the ornate frame that sits on the shelf in your parents' bedroom. A pretty pattern of flowers traces the edge of the frame, but you look sad and ugly. You want to love Jesus. Every night you pray before bed and you ask him to help you love him more. Love is weird. You don't understand how you can feel like you hate your brother Mitch sometimes and wish he just disappeared, but also know you love him. When you think of how much you love your oldest brother James, who has moved to Grand Rapids with his friends, it hurts in your chest like someone is reaching right up through you to grasp your throat from the inside. Love hurts like this sometimes because it makes you want people you're not able to have. Your brother Mitch likes to ask your mom who she loves the most, him, James, or you. She always says, I love you all the same, even though you're not supposed to. You love your mom more than your dad, and you love James more than Mitch. You never say it out loud, but you wonder if Jesus knows and if it makes you a bad person. Father Mark says, you remind me of a niece who was adopted from Vietnam. She lives in North Carolina. I'm sure you'd be great friends. You're glad she is not in Michigan. You want nothing to do with other Orientals. Being together would just make you both stand out more. Adoption is the Lord's work, he says. You both could have been abortions. You have heard this 100 times, 1,000 times, and you know all about abortions. Pictures of twisted, aborted fetuses, slimy and dismembered, covered the giant poster boards in the back of your parents' bedroom closet, along with the Stop Abortion and Choose Life signs they hold in front of abortion clinics on the weekends. You know Father Mark was arrested for chaining himself to the doors of an abortion clinic, which makes him even more of a hero. In kindergarten, Dawn Rakowski found a dead newborn squirrel on the playground. Kids gathered to poke it with sticks. When you came over to see what they were looking at first you thought it was an aborted fetus in the leaves. Its tiny, tiny, hairless body all curled up, purple skin still covering its eyes. That could have been you. So yes, you are thankful you weren't aborted. They tell you bad people birth babies out of their mothers to harvest their organs and sell them to companies for millions of dollars. Sometimes you wonder, if your birth mom had been able to sell your organs, would she have been able to afford a nicer life? Then you'd be like Jesus, sacrificing your body to help someone else, and you'd certainly go to heaven, and isn't that the goal? Your mom walks over with a big smile on her face. Your mother is a modern-day saint, Father Mark says. Everyone says this about your mom. From the corner of her eye, from your eye, you can see Mitch piling food onto a napkin he balances on his palm. You feel guilty. You're focused on donuts when you should be worried about all the aborted babies. Your mom bends down on one knee to be closer to you. Father Mark, she says, would you pray over Regina? I would love to, he says. And your heart sinks to the bottom of your stomach where a donut should be. Father Mark places a hand on your head. Your mom places a hand on your shoulder. Adults touch you a lot. They hug you, pat your head, sit you on their laps like a doll. Mr. Steve and his wife join, and also a woman around your mom's age, someone you don't know very well. Each adult puts their hand on you and their other hand on someone else in the circle, enveloping you in prayer. Father Mark begins. You feel small in the warm circle of bodies. Everyone's eyes are closed except yours. You stare at a pearly button on Mr. Steve's wife's lemon yellow cardigan. It looks like candy and you want to pop it off and shove it in your mouth. Feel its smooth surface with your tongue. Father Mark prays about God's divine plan to bring you here all the way from Korea so you could be saved by his grace and mercy. When Mr. Steve says, praise God, you are submerged in his warm breath and the smell of coffee, cigarettes, and the sewer. You turn your head slowly so he won't notice, so he won't notice and you won't gag. Holy Spirit, Father Mark says, this child's heritage comes from you. Our heritage comes from you, for we are all your children. You like it when they say you are all one family under God. You like it when they say race doesn't matter and they don't see race. You don't know how that's possible, especially since they talk about you being Korean a lot. Maybe love makes you a special kind of invisible. Thank you, Jesus, that this child was not an abortion. Mr. Steve's wife lifts her hand from your shoulder and raises it in the air. Thank you, Jesus, she shouts. Then Father Mark starts speaking in tongues, and soon everyone is speaking in tongues, and it sounds like a mix of all the languages you're not supposed to like Mexican, Arab, and Chinese. If you close your eyes, they'll think you are praying, and maybe you are. You are praying for this to be over. You are praying to be more grateful. You are praying away your guilt. The woman you hardly know starts to cry, and you feel ashamed. She rocks back and forth with her face towards heaven. Tears stream down her cheeks as she speaks in tongues, and she sounds like she's speaking the language of suffering. Mr. Steve's breath wafts down on you. You glance at Mitch, whose pile of snacks sit on a napkin on the floor next to him. Sometimes, though not often, they pray over Mitch. They ask the Lord to help him with football and homework and good behavior, to grow into a good man. No one ever thanks God he wasn't an abortion. Sometimes when you look at the picture of you from Korea and you wonder about your birth mother, what was she like? Did her heart break when she handed you over? You are young, but one thing you know is this. It is worse to lose something you've had than something that never existed in the first place. They finish praying over you and leave you alone. You head in the direction of the donut box. The French cruller is gone. Oh, no. You scan the room and see Mrs. Martin eating it, which is better than your brother eating it since she's the one who brought it, but still you want to cry. At the end of the night, when people start to leave, you begin your cleanup. Any leftover treats people don't take home, your mom makes you throw away, even though there are starving children in Africa, in China, in Korea. But before you throw the donut box away, you collect all the crumbs on the pads of your finger, and you lick them off, and you shove an entire chocolate chip cookie in your mouth. Your cheeks puff out like a chipmunk as you chew. Jesus is watching. You don't care. There's one styrofoam cup left. You throw it in the trash and waste it. You eat more and more until you feel sick. Your mom says people are souls, but you know, not you. You are an empty body filling up and up and up to make the emptiness go away. The elastic waistband of your pants strangles your insides. It's hard to breathe, but it's your own fault. The Holy Spirit hasn't touched you. If he had, you wouldn't hold so much anger inside. Maybe it's evil. Maybe it's Satan. Maybe you're here to cause people pain. Maybe it would have been better if you had been an abortion. You lock up the supplies in the church office. You flip off the lights on your way out. Jesus looks down from the painting, and this time you try to be brave and face him, but his suffering makes you feel so much shame that you run, flipping the lights off as you race down the hall towards your mom, running and running and running from the darkness behind you.
Just let that sit there. Enjoy that. That's amazing. We are all blessed that we got to hear that today. We have a very special guest coming up to intro our next reader. Please help me welcome up Jay. Is that?
Okay. Going well so far. Nailed it. I'm crying. Are you crying? Is anyone crying? Joon, that was so amazing. I've never heard you read, and I've always wanted to. And I just feel thank you for honoring us with your reading. I'm gonna take my shoes off so I can be less tall. Let's just get this going. Jessica E. Johnson. What's the E stand for?
Elizabeth.
I don't even know. Elizabeth. I'm a huge Jessica Johnson fan, like many people in this room. I am known to say that Jessica is my mentor. I'll be like, you 2-time Oregon Book Award finalist Jessica Johnson. Do you know her? That's my mentor. I've also been known to say that the people who've done most for me in my life are my mother, my father, and Jessica E. Johnson. Jessica is an amazing, brilliant writer, an extremely good teacher and educator, and a wonderful fucking person.
That's right.
I met Jessica online in a Zoom class at PCC in 2021. And I don't know if you guys have ever taken a Zoom class, but you don't usually get that, like, classroom euphoria feeling. You know what I mean? Like, you're all a bunch of nerds. Like, you know what I mean? When you're in the class and you're like, oh my God, I love being in the class. And with Jessica, you would get that on the discussion boards. Like, I have gotten so much good out of knowing Jessica, as we all have. And when we talk about this, and I'll say, you're my mentor, she's told me that when she was young and in school and a writer, she wanted to be mentored. And none of the authority figures in her life, or like teachers, were interested in mentoring her. And she said to herself, if I'm ever in the position to do that for somebody else, I'm gonna do it. And I think that says a lot about who Jessica is, because there's people out there who would be like, well, I didn't have any help, I'm not gonna help other people. But Jessica uses their powers only for good. And I think that I wouldn't be the person that I am today, or the writer that I am today, without Jessica. And I think that's true of more than just me, even in this room. And I know that's true of many, many people out there who have been students of Jessica's, who have read her work, and who have come to Constellation. And Jessica and Joon and Armin and Eli are all so good at advocating for other people and celebrating other people and putting this really awesome free party together for us every month. And I'm just so excited to have the opportunity to put them under the spotlight a little bit and celebrate them and have this be really about them. And we're also going to hear some really amazing, and have already heard some really amazing work. I don't have an official bio, so.
Oh, you want it?
I mean,
You don't have to. But
oh, yes. I was like asking Genevieve, I was like, was I supposed to bring my own official bio? Okay, great. I didn't get the email. Jessica E. Johnson, she, they, is the author of the book-length poem Metabolics, the chapbook In Absolutes We Seek Each Other, and the memoir Metawork. All really excellent books. Jess is interested in inclusive learning environments, knowledge production, radical care, and the relationships between art, friendship, community, and social change. Her poems, essays, and reviews have appeared in the Paris Review, Tin House, The New Republic, Poetry Northwest, River Teeth, Diagram, and The Common, among others. She has recent work in Bolt and Off Assignment. Their honors include an Oregon Literary Fellowship, many Pushcart nominations, and a Best of the Net nomination. The Ghost Road was a Best American Essays notable. In Absolutes and Metabolics were finalists for the Oregon Book Award in Poetry. That's my mentor, two-time award.
That was amazing. Can I get a volume check from the stairs? Can you hear me? Yes, I see a thumb from Francis. Thank you. So I am, it's appropriate that a student introduced me and mentioned my teaching because I'm grieving my job while still doing it. And I'm also writing a lot about it. Education is, you know, it's been fucked up and it's real fucked up right now. And not, you know, not just work, it's a whole thing. So I have four pieces. They're all on the weird side. In the spirit of Constellation. So I'm starting with a short, I think it's a micro essay about teaching. So what I'm working on are some micro essays that I think are a love letter to community college and to teaching. As I sort of, it says good, I mean, what it was is not what it is or will be. And some really amazing people I have come to know as students are in this room, so it's pretty emotional. Anyway, Tough Crowd is the tentative title. You sit, a couple of dozen of you, behind tables or in desks. You are mostly young, but not uniformly young. You're not uniformly anything. Your demographics vary depending on the year, the course, and on which campus we gather, on which edge of this white, expensive city. You are slumped or you sit straight. You're tired, mostly. You have a notebook and a pen. You have a phone, though I've asked you not to have it. You have your cans of Monster. You drive. You take the bus. You didn't know each other before we arrived for the first time in this room. You wander in friendly or shy, your most private notions of yourselves colliding in ways that are nervous and exciting at the same time. If there's something I can count on about you, community college students admitted by no standard, it's that many of you are closer to financial poverty or disability or both than people I encounter other places. In the 17 years I've been doing this, the representatives of middle-class professional life among you, an engineer taking a night class, a retired doctor, a comfortable career changer, a highly capable 19-year-old getting some credits out of the way before moving on to a selective university, have stood out more than a vet with a traumatic brain injury, an exhausted night janitor, a mother of 5 who dropped out of 8th grade, the 19-year-olds who struggle to decode words like cheddar or exceptional, the consistent handful of you squinting at the whiteboard, used to not being able to see because your vision has gone long uncorrected. The many of you expecting not to be asked to speak, accustomed to a comfortable evasion. You remind me of the long tangle of my own difficult schooling and the knot of trouble I sidestepped to be here in front of you in my awkward, not professionally coded body, my facilitating body, my solid and over-responsible mom body. In a room built for professing, I am neither momming nor professing, performing a familiar, alive thing in between. On this dim, wet afternoon in the first fall of the second Trump administration, we're in a small lecture hall with the ghost of a large leak on the carpet and an old black upright piano on the stage. The room's not built for sitting in a circle, so you're scattered in individual desks on a shallow rise. I have become a voice that I move about the room. My hands have become a way to get images on a screen. I've forgotten my body. I get paid to talk. Literally, this class is designated lecture, but passive listening amounts to little learning. So I coordinate an attentional give and take. Like a fast food drive-through worker who takes one order while filling another, I run dual processes. The one in which I talk/write/draw and you listen and respond. The one in which you talk/write/draw and I listen and respond. We move fluidly between taking language in and making it. Sometimes the transition is rusty and you are slow to speak. Sometimes the possible things I could say flood my consciousness, and there's a pause while I decide. In the best times, we are one coordinated executive function. In the best times, we have figured out this delicate dance of learning together across every kind of difference. This is the work of teaching. I've been doing it for so many years that I don't feel nervous. But my fitness tracker records it as a workout. In the classroom, my heart beats faster. Today, we're talking about audience. Thinking about audience at all in writing is often new to you. I get it. If you've been trained to write in school-determined forms, delivered to you like they're etched in stone, your work subject to a single teacher's judgment. Often, you've written to demonstrate correctness more than you've written to communicate. Often, you've been found incorrect for reasons you don't understand. Paraphrasing the composition scholar Lisa Eade, I'm talking about how an audience can be addressed. We can learn about the people in the room who might hear us speak, the subscribers to a newspaper we might write for. We can engage in the conceit of a group's knowability and attempt to pander. But there's another audience too, the audience invoked. This is the one you want to talk about. It could be a world away or generations in the future. It could be inside the reader or listener waiting to awaken. It's the one we hope to call into being with our language and intention. You, community college students, admitted by no standard, arrive unfiltered. You don't know or like the same things. Not the same things as me, not the same things as each other. You are here for your own distinct reasons, in pursuit of your own distinct dreams, including the sleeping kind. Many of you are simply trying to keep existing until the end of the day or week or month, trying to continue not facing something you don't want to know or name. I could hardly pander to you if I wanted to. And because you are not easily addressed, I must invoke. This is the work. I plant my feet and imagine the everyday scholars inside us. I speak as if we are who we need to be, at least for this moment, curious and capable of meeting each other in our current incapacities, not knowing the right words or references, touching without judgment the wide shadows of our knowledge, where I don't know is a fertile darkness rather than an existential penalty. Thus, I summon you, in whatever circumstances, class after class, quarter after quarter, year after year. I imagine us into a space where we will change each other. I know there are some teachers in the room. I have a poem. It's a little on the long side. It's about it is about watching a televised death also. So content warning. I was flying real early in the morning after when the videos of sort of the moments before Yahya Sinwar's death were being shown. And I actually had like something like nearly hallucinatory happen. I wrote a poem about it. Traveling alone. 1. Strange airport, a layover, and ill with the hour. Carried by a flow of bodies, I board the escalator. A terrier rises through a roller bag zipper. The small face, wet eyes, surrounded by noise and metal. 2. Stilling mild nausea and nothing to watch, but the news already loaded at takeoff, and so nothing to watch but this clip of a death. The dusted fighter looking out from a chair, his eyes open to a bombed room, and yes, I vowed not to take in real murder casually when it entered the feeds like this lifetimes ago. But something's worn me down. The paper of record, its shrugging suggestions that an occupying army can kill its way to peace. My feed celebrating a murder, the growing distance between these meanings. And meanwhile, the rivers and rivulets and eddies of docile humans traveling for business or a football game, soothing themselves, drinking even at this ill hour, not quite sleeping, watching who knows what. In the clip, the fighter, small as a man, stares down a loaded drone with nothing to throw but a stick at its eyes. My eyes now, in the moment of watching, among millions that live inside a war machine, looking on like it couldn't be them in the drone's red light. And I don't know if it's this illness of the hour or a ghost in my throat that I might have been born with, telling me to think myself in the man's place instead, saying we will one day be there, not traveling alone together above a vast, hazy continent. 3. The passenger in front of me, aisle seat, is watching slow horses. Now, nothing to watch but his screen, nothing to watch but the man peeling a fresh sweatshirt over his fresh-shaved head and the white fleece coating the mowed field of his freckled dome like a shearing in reverse. And how his right ear resembles my brother's, could be my brother's. The cut of his cheekbone, my brother's. His visible forearm, my brother's. The escaping curve of his fingers. Though my brother wouldn't be watching slow horses. And when the passenger unbuckles and stands and turns to greet his friends, he's wearing a shirt my brother wouldn't wear. Still, I want to keep thinking, my brother, in relation to this stranger. Still, I want to be a person who hosts the words, my brother, in the body's terminal, who keeps hearing them about to be spoken. I have 2 more things. I have a manifesto. I have done an erasure of T.S. Eliot's tradition and the individual talent. That's hard because he has not a lot of good words, especially not verbs. It is called Rad Vita, articulating hopefully a more collectivist vision. We cannot employ poetry to make English comfortable. Breathing, we come to light in process and endeavor to be ancestors. Tradition involves presence. Bones sense the temporal and at the same time the dead. You must not merely cohere. We say, course the current, flow the material, aware of the mind's own time. Okay, there's a weird word in this part, susurrus, which means murmuring. I had to look it up. Don't blame me, blame T.S. Eliot. We attend the susurrus, hear numbers, seek relation as a living whole. Take place, play quite a part, expend the self, bewilder the judge. Tranquility is error, poetry is not an escape. And finally, I have one, this is like a prose sestina, maybe, kind of, which just means you'll hear a lot of words repeated. This is a challenge given to me by my dear friend Sarah. It's called City. And the you in this is you. It's like the community of writers gathering together who maybe don't even know each other yet. And maybe some of them do. So this is a love poem for all of you. City. Here we exist, but can't see each other. You riding in on a train full of sun, and you with your mother's words thrumming a grave through fields and the office park scenarios we hive in, hiding. City wants us each alone and loves us like I loved Rome's frozen goddesses, their faces all beautiful and all the same. Unwilling to be loved without being known, we fuck off like teenagers into eddies of scroll and trying not trying. A star's pinprick light is ages old. Contingent, we spark deep into the night. Morning in the woods, I pass through a weed cloud and know I'm not alone. From the fancy restaurant on the ridge, laughter, a teenage crew of valets fucking off. Sometimes fog fills up with sun and we shoot and rattle through bright clouds on the way to work or books open. Sometimes the city catches us, frozen between acts of housekeeping that might make a person seem normal if anyone could see, the same as anybody else in the ways that matter. We hive, hiding from a non-existent gaze, and know a dearth of language, a grave scenario. All day in the office, your mother's words murmuring from earth, collecting there and in your chest at once. Language through some pinprick in the day plan, arriving fast from an indoor distance. Alone and on a ramble, I can love the city, each of its rectilinear outgrowths on what is still a riverbank, a slide down to water. Can you hear us? You riding in behind rain-spattered windows? The crows assemble in a certain tree along the river in their crow way of giving a fuck, making their concern visible, if not its object. Those fuckers are their language, their gathering, their shared concern. You carry your mother the song she knew, all her tones, the murder and resurrection of her spirit. Shout out Dr. Sandoval for that concept. I think of you riding in on a train full of sun, all of us together in an age-old invisible starlight. Sometimes I can feel you even if we don't see each other. City collects us, mingles us, blinds us with its corners until we come together, massing words. A city of words rises between us, bridges and towers, ghosts and goddesses, unfrozen and walking. They are willing to be loved without being known, and our lethargy to them is not relatable. Is she here? Oh my goodness. Here we exist but can't see each other. You painting your grandmother's story crystalline above the tree line while I drive. You studying by age-old art the starlight. You riding in on the train with a book. I'm trying to train myself to new habits, to flow more quickly out of these worried fucking eddies. You told me the universe is expanding at the edge, but I later read it's blooming from the space between the stars, a space currently known to be something, not void. And you and me in a suburban field in an unknown expanding dark, words thrumming. Here we exist, but can't see each other. Meet me in daylight under pinprick starlight, you riding in on a train full of sun. Whether we know each other, we make a city of ourselves. I love you, mobile strangers, in the thrum of words, the grave green field. Where are you at, Genevieve? Up you go.
How's this? How's the volume, everyone? Okay, perfect. I just want to say before I start that the world is dark, but there's so much light in this room, and because of your words and because of your presence here tonight. And I just want us to all kind of like sit with that and feel it while I get my notes in order. Armin Tolentino. Over time, I've described Armin in different ways to people, but the most apt description is that Armin is a force of nature.
That's right.
Not like a typhoon or anything destructive, but more like a steady breeze that always gets summoned when you need relief on a hot day, or when you want that flattering brushback of the hair, getting a selfie. It's mysterious, it makes you look good and feel good, and you're grateful for it in your life. I met Armin at an open mic at the old Slaptown Library branch on Thorman and 23rd when I was barely writing poetry myself. He was the featured poet that night, reading from his collection, We Meant to Bring It Home Alive. In my head, I had several thoughts. First, wait, kababayan. Hello, Pinoy. We do exist in Portland. And, wow, he's such a presence at the mic. I wonder how he is at karaoke. And, oh, his writing. His writing is layered, has rabbit holes that draw you in, and is full of soulful humanity. Whenever I read Armin's work, I'm thunderstruck, as one might be at a magic show, wondering, how did he do that? Since then, Armin has cut his hair. I've grown mine out. I've gotten to hang with him in various non-literary contexts that might surprise you. For example, we've thrashed at a few heavy metal shows together. I have footage if anyone wants that. We've attended a Knicks Blazers game where he stood most of the night trolling the Blazers with his jersey on and still managed to make friends. And recently at karaoke where he coaxed a 90s era growl from me on a Smashing Pumpkins song. All this to say, if you know Armin, he will inevitably be your cheerleader. Armin's the guy who will hook you up. He is the best literary citizen a city could ask for.
That's right, that's right.
And he's my dear friend. There is no way I can do a proper intro of this guy. He who is former poet laureate of Clark County, Washington, Oregon Literary Fellow, Carolyn Morehouse Writer in Residency. He who is a mean ukulele player, epic clapper, a poet's poet, a lodestar, a rock star, and most recently, a children's book author. So I'll just say, happy birthday, Constellation. You're in for a treat tonight. That sweet, sweet breeze. This is Armin Tolentino.
Are we supposed to read after these interviews? Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Genevieve. And I don't say it enough, but you two have been a gift to my life. These last 3 years especially. My gosh, I can't picture my literary life without you all. You on the max, shaking with laughter or sorrow. Or both. Or everything. Why hold it in? This night is frosted with a lacework of quiet, just begging to be wrecked. I'll join you. I can use a lot less inside me. Lightness. I've been heavy all day, like the power lines burdened with ice. One good wind howling up the gorge will knock out the light, and you and I will be locked in this train, our truest selves quelled by the shame of crying in front of a stranger. Dark waiting room, cold beneath cold. Why not howl back? Each stop is the same, this moment's geometry, a tessellation to which we are integral. Your muffled sobs, the lurch of the train, my shivering dumbness, and a coyote trotting alongside the tracks, again repeat in every direction. Years ago, when I should have screamed, I thought better of it, which meant I thought less of myself. And ever since, my throat has been stuffed with dead leaves. But you still have something to say. So say it. To make it home, all we can do is pray the tracks are true, that the driver's awake and honorable and has someone she loves waiting for us all to step off intact. Which means to keep living the pattern of this only moment we'll share, of course, must be broken. We'll break it, stepping off, away. You and me and every shaggy night mongrel traversing this city, dodging rocks and bottles and headlights and curses. For months now, the sun's been molting beneath the the leaf rot. The wild thrive in the culverts. Those stealthy coyotes hunt so silently on their lonesome along the littered boulevards, but bring back their meager treasures to a den in the park where they curl their oily fur into one another's warmth and howl in delight for a gopher or ham bone they share. You'll make it home tonight. That much I know. When you do, I pray you open all your windows, let in the cold, unclench your jaw, and howl right back. January readings. Not only is it a birthday thing that feels so special, but it's because we don't gather in December, that it feels extra special to be back with you all. And all of you as writers, let me use I statements. I have this experience as a writer where heavy things happen, and you're like, what the hell am I doing just writing these goofy little poems? What the point? And then I have to remind myself that through millennia of human history, the greatest fuck you to tyranny has always been making art, right? And experiencing joy. So by being here and being joyful, I think that's a good middle finger to everything that's wrong in this world right now. So thank you for participating in that. And in making art, I think a lot about what am I writing and why am I writing it? And so I want to share with you all some Ars Poeticas. Ars Poeticas, as I understand it, are poems about poems, right? They're poems about like the art of writing poems or the idea of writing poems. And maybe as many of you, I didn't grow up reading a lot of poems necessarily. I listened to a lot of music, right? And those lyrics have stuck with me over time. So these are poems that are inspired by different lyrics that often get stuck in my head, and I've tried to process through the idea of what poetry means to me. So they'll all have epigraphs I'll share with you. Ars Poetica as Billy Joel's Vienna. With the epigraph, it's all right. You can afford to lose a day or two. When will you realize Vienna waits for you? First, I heard it as Venice. As in, there's no rush. The floating city will wait for you. The steeples, barely peering above the brackish tide, gasp between waves, will be here when you're ready. And every passing year you dawdle, the basilica must hold her breath for longer and longer. But Billy said Vienna. Like even then, in 77, he knew Venice was sunk. Perhaps Vienna is still waiting for you, will always wait, however long it takes for you to be ready. Like this frequent miracle, a mother in hospice, her grown children flung worldwide, somehow wills her good as dead heart to pulse just enough to keep the lights on until all her loved ones make it home. And the moment her children walk in the room to complete the circle and say goodbye, she blinks her eyes twice and lets go. You have time, is what Billy is saying. The youngest son thinks this too when he hears of the news and books a flight, but not the earliest, to buy a few hours to leave the office in a little better shape. On the red eye, somewhere over Ohio, his phone goes straight to voicemail over and over, and he won't realize what waits for him below until he lands. Ars Poetica as white zombies Cosmic Monsters Incorporated. Epigram, a paper thing cut on the edge of hell. I wrestled with the heavens, but I never fell. Count on your busted fingers, your lifetime's blessings, none greater than this moment of average rapture. Pause in quiet awe within this ecotone of goblins and riddles and sacraments. Breathe out and bow deeply in all four directions. Salute the storm that swells on the south side of heaven, the tiny devils that pitchfork your toes. You touch gloves with God, ready with the utmost respect to break that fucker down. You wouldn't work this hard after all if it didn't matter. You wouldn't punch your arms weary if you didn't think there was something akin to salvation as your prize, if you could, with your will, make the Lord take a knee. Be not afraid. Grease your face against the mighty wind of heaven that stirs the hot scum of hell into orange froth all along the DMZ of this miraculous moment. You know why you're here. You'd break an angel's spine for the prize of one true word. Ars Poetica as the Beatles, A Day in the Life. Now they know how many holes it takes to fill the Albert Hall. I popped out on Easter, glistening and lost, and carried already a hole, the inheritance of my bloodline, which is fine. Many holes would follow. I was the size of my mother's stuttering heart when the wind across the Tappan Zee brushed my fontanelle and frayed the peach canvas of my papery shell, revealing several more pinpricks of darkness. I couldn't leave well enough alone. I couldn't keep my nails from picking at my holes, tearing some so wide, I was a boy that would fall for months inside my own darkness. What to do? I filled the holes with cartoons, later with porn I snuck from my father's many secrets. When I learned that the bladed laughter of boys could both eviscerate and exhilarate, I craved to fill the new holes I'd made with that jangly chorus. A daily ritual of fucking the hair up of a runt too hollow himself to fight back until he did. Which is fine. Which is the daily work of living. Which is understanding we are made much more of emptiness than anything else. Now, 40 and porous, I'm flimsy as pumice. The holes won't go away. I could fill them now with smoke and pills, or with prayers and pamphlets left daily on my doorknob because strangers walking by can clearly see my holes, even through the house's walls. I could fill them with the analgesic of 80 proof concoctions and processed sugars. But I'd like to leave them as holes now. I'd like to book the best stage in town and invite you tonight where I'll drape across the curtains, the canvas that is only holes, and say, stare for as long as you wish. This is my life's work. Empty, precious, and mine. I'm gonna try to sing a song. This could go real bad. This could go real bad, real fast. Okay, enough. Okay, I'm gonna try to sing a song. Okay, because this song the actual song is much better than my poem, which is usually the case, and that's fine. But why the hell not try this? Okay, this could go real bad real fast. Okay, sing along if you know it. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming round. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of the cheers. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years have gone by. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, but then I see that look in your eyes. Bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. Every now and then I fall apart. And I need you more tonight. And I need you more than ever. If you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. And we'll only be making it right. We could never be wrong. Together we can make it through the end of the line. Your love is like a shadow, want me all the time. I don't know what to do, I'm always in the dark. We're living in a battle game, it's giving off sparks. I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Forever's gonna start you. Once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. Nothing I can say, it's a total eclipse of the heart. Once upon a time there was light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can say, it's a total eclipse of the heart. Turn around, bright eyes. Last poem and we'll let them complete. Ars Poetica as Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart. With the line, every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years have gone by. Midday. In the searing heat, we toil in our ordinary fashion until one of us stops to point at the sun with a chunk scooped out, like how beetles dig a hole through a dead pig's neck and carve a perfect circle through the bloodiest flesh. This, though, is no nibble. Across an hour, the sun is devoured before us whole. So many things in our lives we've lost. Cattle, children, cities. But this? The sun? How could we surmise anything but the obvious? The Lord has loosed her scavengers on this bust of a world she's sorry she ever conjured. We shiver in newfound night and the owls swoop from the aspens, erratic as bats, disoriented, crashing into black lakes while stars appear as the haunted brethren of the fireflies awoken too soon and flashing their flares in confusion. And we pray and grovel and weep until somehow it's over. The sun is restored. The day returned to what it all had been. Embarrassed, the coyotes crawl back into their grovels to sleep. We look at each other and, not knowing what to do, pick up our tools. We get back to something familiar, threshing and plowing and whatnot. What else can we do with this most uneasy relief we've been gifted, that life is still life? You and I live a long time after. But every now and then we turn around the memory of that day we were certain was the last. In the terror of what I'd lost, I missed the miracle of darkness. How in that only moment, I could have opened my eyes and stared at the crown of heaven. All the stabbing light made soft enough to see clear through forever's heart. But my eyes were shut like a fist, clenched hard on something I didn't know was already gone. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your warmth. What a night. We do have some books for sale at the counter. Armin and I do. And a whole amazing store full of books. I have to remind you. Like I can point just everywhere books. Please join us upstairs for cake. Or you can hang out down here if you'd like. There's more food than cake. There's also alcohol and non-alcohol. Thank you so much. We love you. We'll be back in February on the 2nd.